எல்லாருக்கும் மத்திய வணக்கம். With your permission, I'll remove my mask so that we can have an open interaction. So I'll give a quick context. Okay, and before that, language I'll talk what I have to talk or communicate in English, but Tamil varum. Okay, so born and brought up in Tamil Nadu, heart of Tamil Nadu, Madurai, and absolutely fine with the language, but communicate பண்றது இங்கிலீஷ்ல பண்ணிடுறேன். and அதுக்கப்புறம் one-on-one questions எதுனாலும் தமிழ்ல பண்ணலாம். A quick intro. I'm Santosh Khanna. I head the holiday sales vertical for Thomas Cook. I'm based in Bangalore. Prasoon here with me. Prasoon heads South India. He's also based in Bangalore, and we also have some of our colleagues with us. We have Santosh who heads Tamil Nadu retail. We have Suraj who heads our franchise setup in Tamil Nadu, and we have Vasu who heads our visa business for Tamil Nadu. So we have a fairly comprehensive set of people here with us. So context பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் broadly I'll cover 4 to 5 points. Okay. First is about what the travel industry has gone through over the last 18 months. Okay. So obviously with the pandemic, the industry has been one of the most affected ones. So I'll give a quick walkthrough from the business side, from the industry side, on what we have gone through, what we have seen, and how the revival has happened, and what's going on. Second is I'll also give a quick summary of all the destinations that are open now. Now, இது வந்து நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. What destinations are open today, and whether we can travel, what are the protocols, are there any processes around it. A lot of people are still looking forward to that information. So I will try and cover that. And then I'll also quickly give a small capping of what Thomas Cook is doing to ensure a very safe and convenient travel during this time. Being the market leader, we have done a lot of things around it, and I'll give a cap of that, and maybe a lot of people might even find it useful or interesting to know about. Okay. So broadly, these are the things that I'll be covering over the next 10 minutes. It won't take more than that. Before we start, a quick summary of Thomas Cook and what Thomas Cook India is. Thomas Cook India is the country's largest travel solutions provider. We are present in about 160 plus outlets across India, and additionally in a lot of airports, a lot of major airports. We manage the foreign exchange counters there, and in India we are present in more than 80 cities and towns across the length and breadth of the country. From a business's point of view, we are the market leaders, or at least in the top two, in a variety of different businesses within travel. So travel, we are the market leader in holidays, we are the market leader in foreign exchange, we are also very big in MICE, which is corporate incentive movement for the dealers and employees. And we are also very large in the corporate travel space, which is obviously corporates working with us. They are a travel partner for their employees and their travel needs. And the visa vertical is again one of the largest, so we do a lot of visas, and we also manage corporate visas and all that. So broadly, these are the businesses that we are large in, and we are the market leader in most of these. Additionally, we also have, as part of the Thomas Cook India group companies, we also have various companies present in about 25 different countries across 5 continents. Okay, so it's a large group from a travel point of view. A lot of these companies are obviously part of the travel setup, and they are all market leaders in their space also. And we work very closely with each of them because they are part of the same family. That's the brief on Thomas Cook. Now, obviously, the last 18 months has been obviously life-changing for all of us. Every one of us here, I'm sure, has been affected in some form or the other. We have seen near and dear ones getting affected. Some of us have lost people who are close to us, and the entire world is still, understanding how to manage this. The travel industry has obviously been one of the most affected ones, and when the pandemic, or rather when we first understood it was a pandemic, obviously we went for lockdowns. A lot of countries closed borders to ensure that they try to control the spread of the pandemic. India was also one of them. We also closed our borders. In fact, we were one of the first ones, and the initial part was really well managed. We were able to control that. Then obviously after that, after the lockdowns came down, and at the same time we also understood that the COVID numbers are increasing. All of us, obviously we're all aware, right, what we have gone through. So till about June of 2020, right, from March till June or till end of June 2020, absolutely not much travel was happening. Borders were completely closed. So then the air bubble agreements came in, and then some movement of people started happening. From a holidays point of view, for families, from about July last year, families and people slowly started taking weekend getaways and staycations. Okay. So weekend getaways basically are only for 2 or 3 days. So we go for a resort close by. A lot of resorts and a lot of hotels across the country, especially, and right now I'm talking only about domestic because that's what started. So July and August last year, a lot of properties were actually going out of their way to ensure that safety measures are taken and all that. So from July to August, a lot of weekend getaways happen. Staycations are basically, as the name implies, the stay itself is the vacation. So people actually booked a hotel. In fact, Chennai, a lot of people booked a resort in Chennai itself. They are in Chennai, they went to a resort in Chennai, stayed there for 3 days, simply because people wanted a break. So they did that, they relaxed, came back. So this actually started the revival to some extent. This started. Then people slowly started taking a slightly longer holiday. To a large extent, till about September or October of last year, that was still restricted because a lot of states within India were still having restrictions about travel. Right? So Tamil Nadu will say this state, if they are coming in, we want to have a quarantine for them for a few days, or RT-PCR tests would be required. There were restrictions that were there. So that inter-state travel within India was still restricted. Then slowly things started opening up. International travel point of view, about last year, about October onwards, Maldives opened up. Because as a destination that actually has social distancing by default, because it is 600,000 islands and each island is a resort, and within each resort obviously the rooms and cabins and cottages and villas are all socially distanced anyways, and people really took it up, and for them also more than 95% of their GDP is based on tourism, so they also had to open up, so put together it worked. So as a destination, Maldives really picked up, and then we had Dubai opening up. We also had South Africa and Kenya and some of these countries opening up for travel. Sri Lanka also opened up, I think, last December. So till February of 2021, there was a really decent amount of revival. Percentage terms compared to pre-pandemic, right? We were probably from whatever destinations were open, we would have been at about 20% for that period of time. Then obviously wave 2 hit us just when things were really starting to open, because by March we had more destinations available. We had Turkey, we had Egypt, we had Russia, a lot of countries were open for travel. March obviously we had wave 2 hit us. So that's what happened as a journey. Then again from July onwards, a lot of countries have opened this year. And as we speak, the great thing is almost every 2 weeks there are new countries that are opening up. Okay. So as of now, we have a variety of destinations open for travel. India, every single state is available. Okay, so there are absolutely no restrictions, no quarantine measures. You can travel within India anywhere, and hardly 1 or 2 states have some slight variations of some RT-PCR tests also. Primarily based on in the state we need an RT-PCR test. That's about it. So that way, domestic tourism is really boomed. For Thomas Cook also, we actually, to be very honest, pre-pandemic, our domestic business was a very small part of our overall holidays business, but we pivoted, and during the last year we have really focused on it. So September 2021, for example, within our retail business, we have done about 3.2 times what we would have done in September 2019. So that's the extent to which Thomas Cook has pivoted, and more importantly, that's the extent to which domestic tourism has really picked up in India. Okay. Because people have been habituated to traveling, they've been used to taking their usual holidays and family get-togethers. And now that international borders were broadly closed, they also wanted that comfort. They've been booking a lot of domestic, a lot of us have been rediscovering our own country. So overall, last 1 year, domestic has really boomed. Main destinations that have sold are Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal, and Andaman. Okay, so these 4 are the main destinations that have really been looked forward to. People have been traveling to. Goa recently opened up about a couple of months back, or 1.5 months back. And Rajasthan, Gujarat continue to be destinations that are still moving well. So Kashmir, Ladakh, Andaman, Himachal have been really good for tourism. A lot of people have traveled. International point of view, over the last 4 months, we have seen a lot of countries open up. Okay. So Russia, Egypt, Turkey, Russia, Egypt and Maldives, these 3 were always open. They actually never closed their borders after the second wave. So from April end onwards itself, they will open for Indians to travel. And people have been traveling. We ourselves have operated a lot of groups. People have traveled. Now, apart from those three, Europe opened up. So next to Southeast Asia, which is Singapore and Thailand especially, next to those two, Europe is India's largest destination market. So a lot of Indians travel there, and the great thing was Europe opened up. Switzerland was the first, which again for Indians is the most popular destination in Europe. Switzerland opened, France opened, Germany, and now we have a situation where most of Western Europe is actually open for travel for Indians. Switzerland, France, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Sweden, Croatia, Spain, Austria, so a lot of countries are open and people are traveling. Then something else that happened was UK opened their borders for Indians without quarantine. Okay. So about 3 months back they opened their borders saying Indians can travel if you are vaccinated, but we will need about 10 days of quarantine after you arrive into UK. About 2 weeks back, that has now been removed. So someone who's traveling to UK right now does not need any quarantine. They can go there and they can straight away visit their family or go for the sightseeing and take their holiday. About again 2 weeks back, we also had news about USA and Canada opening. Around 20th of September is when this news came out. So both are open. Canada today flights are already operating. So from Delhi, again this is part of the air bubble right now. From Delhi there are flights operated by Air Canada and Air India from Delhi into Toronto and Vancouver. So that way Canada is right now completely open. People are traveling. People are holding a visa can already travel. Consulate is as of now yet to open their issuance of tourist visas because they are still clearing a lot of their backlog for other visas. But otherwise, Canada right now holding a visa, people can travel, and in about 2 weeks' time, we are hoping to see tourist visas also open up. USA, they have announced that from 8th of November, their borders will be open for a select set of countries, and India is one of them. So that is again one country where a lot of us have relatives and friends and family, and we want to travel. A lot of people have already been asking with Thomas Cook also, and I'm sure the same would be the case with the entire market about when travel is opening, when flights are operating. As of now, we are waiting for the final approvals and the final communication to be closed between the two governments. And once that is done, the airlines and the flights will start operating. They will announce their schedules, and then the US consulate has also told that once the communication comes through, then they will look at opening their offices for issuance of visas. So USA is just around the corner. 8th of November is the expected time by which they will open. So these are the countries that are already open. So from a tourism point of view, a lot of people have traveled also. Because I think what has happened is people have realized that COVID is here to stay for some time, and people have also understood that we have to live with it and how do we accommodate our lives and regular lives around it. So since the start of the pandemic, since end of March till end of September 2021, right? So in these 15 months, Thomas Cook alone, we have actually had about 50,000 guests who have traveled with us and had a holiday. So 50,000 people have travelled with Thomas Cook during the pandemic stage till 30th of September, which itself again shows that, and this is in spite of all the lockdowns and months when nothing was open. So this itself shows the extent to which people are right now ready to understand that they have to carry on, and they are actually happy to take their travel.